key mentality to being a good bird hunter is just keep walking. You got to be resilient, hit the next spot, don't stop early. Just keep working. Those dogs have been working all day.
When it all comes together, you find an area that's suitable for the bird. You've got a group of good friends that you've been seemingly just wandering around with your dogs for hours on end, and then one of the dogs locks up.
Was that her first bird?
It is. Ray Dog's first bird.
That's a good girl.
Yes. Like, I love these things.
There's so many opportunities. You get on your Onyx, and the central western end of the state is just littered with walk-in areas that you could spend a lifetime hunting, and it's open to everybody, belongs to everyone.
We made it. It's not too sloppy out.
No, it's not too bad at all.
Thank God.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I grew up doing it with my dad. His grandpa did it, and
Oh, wow.
but first real bird dog though. So
What kind of dog?
he's a draught.
Oh, nice.
So Sam and I met because we train dogs together for our
Gotcha.
Boom.
Hey, Boo. What's up, bro? It's game time.
Wire hairs, I have got draught, pretty much the same thing, but he's like, oh, you got a bird dog? I got a bird dog. You hunt? Me too. Can we be friends? And
Dude, guys are so simple.
5 years ago. Yeah.
We always talk about, like, I can make friends at a gas station.
Yeah.
Someone rolls up in camo, and it's like, he's like, where are you from? What do you hunt? Here's my number.
That's awesome.
It's basically all it takes.
Who's ready to get warm?
My name's John Klamer, and I've been upland bird hunting since I was 12 years old. Chasing wild birds is just really exciting to me, and more rewarding when you can capitalize and find them, especially with the good dog. Hunting in particular, I've met some of my best friends. The friendships you make along the way with their dogs and training and going on road trips across the state or the country to go on a new venture, that's what really forms bonds, not only between you and the dog, but between other dog hunters, other hunters. There's a bond that's created there, and it's a universal. You can meet up not knowing someone, you know they're a hunter, and you know they have dogs. You're probably gonna have a lot in common. That's a really good place to start a friendship. Joe's story with his dog is pretty cool. Both his dogs were rescues. He got Phoebe from the Casey Pet Project. I think she was like 6 months old. And then he got LC from a pointer breeder that didn't want her anymore because she just had a little crook in her tail. And literally she was so small you could hold her in your palm of your hand like this. And he would bottle fed her for the first month that he had her and got her up to weight, and now she's a heck of a hunter. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
She's the one that's gonna find them all.
Just like, see you later.
That's
see
awesome.
you back at the track. And then I'll look at this and it'll be like, oh, she's 600, and then it'll be like, now 400, now 800. It's just like moving constantly. My name is Joe Herbert. I've been bird hunting since I was 14, so 20 years. My family has a long history. My grandpa was a bird dog guy, and we went on big family excursions. As soon as I could get my own bird dog, I hopped right in.
You want to make a little pivot?
Hunting in Kansas is maybe not what it's marketed to be. We can do it two ways. We can either go straight down this way and start working like a grid, or we can kind of hop across and go.
Let's hit this first in case we get some of the prairie chicken.
Though we have pretty significant bird limits, 4 pheasants, 8 quail, 2 prairie chickens, it's hard work and a lot of walking, and the miles aren't easy though. Kansas is supposedly flat. Plenty of days, over 30,000 steps, 15 plus miles, and depending on the places you hunt, you could have a killer day, or you might see nothing. It's definitely a state you got to put the work in, especially with the weehaw stuff. It gets hit, and even if you have a secret spot, it's only secret amongst your friends. other people, they know about it. So getting out, exploring new places, not hitting the same stuff over and over. I drove from Kansas City to southwest corner of the state. That's a 7.5-hour drive, so there's a lot of ground to cover.
Mr. Joe,
Little selfie.
we got the full crew going on here.
Quite a crew, indeed.
If we didn't have enough humans, we definitely have enough dogs.
Yeah, I think we're at as many dogs as humans at this point.
I reckon those birds are probably in trouble.
I hope. That's a fingers crossed.
Supposedly these are bird dogs.
Yeah, we'll see what they're made of it for in this kind of weather, you know. Got 2 young ones, a couple experienced dogs. That slough continues and then goes down that drainage down that way. But there could be some birds hanging out in that slough right there right now. So.
Whoever's blocking needs to walk down here and do a wide berth around. Kansas is so unique because of the WEHA program they have here. There's so many opportunities. You get on your Onyx, and the central western end of the state is just littered with walk-in areas that you could spend a lifetime hunting, and it's open to everybody. It belongs to everyone. It's all brush. This is all like really tall weeds.
Yeah.
Cattails.
Is it at the bottom
So
of
you
that
see
block?
that block this down here.
Probably.
Okay, so it'd be on this, I guess that would be east side, if we're on the west side of the property.
Correct.
Over there.
Yeah.
When it all comes together, when you find an area that's suitable for the bird, when you've got a group of good friends that you've been seemingly just wandering around with your dogs for hours on end, and then one of the dogs locks up, everyone's excitement level just skyrockets.
Hey, good girl, Ray! Good girl!
My name's Brent, I'm 36. I got introduced to hunting pretty early in life, did some pheasant hunting with my dad and some of his friends when I was 12, 13, 14, but never really got truly into hunting until I was probably 22 or so. I didn't grow up hunting in the glory days where there were just birds everywhere, but so many factors have diminished bird populations. I mean, upland hunting is tough for sure. There's a lot of miles on boots. 2, 3, 4 times more miles for the dogs, depending on what breed you've got. And you've just got to figure out exactly what kind of environment the birds like to live in.
Better up here. There could be some quail living in here. Quail, 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 quail!
My favorite thing about hunting Kansas is that it feels endless. That honestly will deter a lot of people from hunting in Kansas because it can feel overwhelming. It seems like a needle in a haystack, but that is also an appeal to it to a lot of hunters because it's carving out the fields that actually have pheasants and that have game and that have tracks and that you have experience on.
It's just something I've done for so long, and the effort involved, it feels good. I mean, we talked about this morning, it's weird that you don't see anybody out here. It's beautiful, just get out and walk. And then after about a half a day, you kind of remember, you're like, yeah, this is pretty tough. I understand why more people don't do it. Every day could be the best day you've ever had hunting. So you're just hoping that it's that day and you find a new spot that you hadn't found before. The key mentality to being a good bird hunter is just keep walking. You got to be resilient, hit the next spot, don't stop early, just keep working.
Team stretch. What's the go-to stretch this morning, John? Is that all? The go-to stretch? Is that as far as you got?
The pants are a little tight.
Sure.
He's wearing a medium. A small. Speeds.
And we got Mr. Killer over here.
What's up? Morning.
Morning. So you know a man has killed a couple birds when his Carhartt vest is really faded. That's a good sign.
You got UV deterioration. This thing's only about 25 years old, so.
Here it is. As cliche as it sounds, you have to put the miles on your boots to be successful a lot of the times. I love that the amount of volume that you put in correlates directly to the amount of success that you have. And there's not a lot of luck. You either find birds or you don't. And a lot of that has to do with your knowledge of the area and your knowledge of where those birds are hanging out and where they like to be at certain points of the year, whether that's early season or late season. In this case, we were hunting very late season, and these birds are smart and they are in places where not a lot of people want to go, whether that's through thick cane brakes or plum thickets, just in little hidden pieces of property that no one wants to drive out to. And that's kind of the name of the game at this point in the year. If you put enough time in Kansas and you learn how to hunt those birds, you're gonna have successful days over and over and over again. Was that her first bird?
It is. Ray Dog's first bird.
That's a good girl.
Yes.
Like, I love these things.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go.
Ray, got on the board.
Hey, Ray, good job.
Like, your dog
Good
gets
job.
itself.
It's probably 2 or 3 year old bird. Yeah. Ray. I know you're excited, girl. Yep.
That brown is so pretty.
Yeah, so when they're young of the year, they'll just be like a nub.
Okay, there's nothing really there.
Yep, and then I would say it's probably in its 3rd growing season.
I think for a lot of America, I think people just want to get out of their daily routines and go walk and move and feel free. And that's what Kansas does. Kansas, you look across the vistas and it's just endless. And you know, if I want to, I can walk over there, or I can walk over there, and you're free. And it's an amazing feeling. It really isn't about the birds. It really is all about that sense of freedom. And that's what public land embodies, is our ability to just go and be endless and not be bogged down by the rules of society. It's just go walk. And typically the barrier of entry to get into this sport is very low. To be honest, it's a pair of boots and a shotgun. Hunting in Kansas, my favorite moment in the hunt is always the last 15 minutes of light. You're either walking back to your vehicle or you're already back, and everyone's just sitting around the trucks or the vehicles talking about the things that they saw and the birds that they shot and what their dogs did and how bad their feet hurt. And there's this interaction between all the hunters involved that ties a bow onto the hunt itself. And you just look across the landscape and there's this gentle purple and pink hue that I just get lost in. I love just taking a moment and just being quiet for yourself and being present with the people that you're with. And that's what it's all about.
It's like basically the only spots to eat when you get in a small town. It's just Mexican.
Mexican or Pizza Hut.
Which is awesome.
Let's go.
Exciting.
Is that her first point?
It's your second point.
Second point?
Second point, but that's the first cubby she's pointing.
Dude, she drilled those. Oh, yeah.